got no idea when it's happening. No idea. Go to a cemetery, look at all the gravestones. Generation after generation. Dead. No one remembers them. Their loved ones aren't near them anymore. Forgotten. Just 2 dates and their name. Hole dug in the ground. Coffin, wooden box, shoved in it, put down in the ground, soil on, everyone cries, gone into perhaps eternity. Who knows? You walk around a cemetery, even the famous people. One of the great cemeteries in London is Highgate Cemetery. I'm yet to go there, but I would love to go. Many great, many great famous people passed away there. Monuments to them still there. Likes of Karl Marx is there. Not a Marxist myself, but it's a pretty famous person that's buried there. Who else is in that cemetery? There's loads of people in that cemetery. I've just completely gone blank in my head of all the people that have passed away that are in that cemetery. If you look up about Highgate Cemetery, so many different people. If you live in London, a great one to go to. I went to Kensal Rise Cemetery about last year, walked around there for ages. Huge cemetery. It's like the horizon is gravestones. You walk around there, and I've been to different places in the world and seen famous tombs, and like the Valley of the Kings in Luxor, and ancient Egyptian where all the pharaohs are buried, Tutankhamun, Ramses II, III, all of that, and incredible. I mean, that was a really incredible experience. When you go to all this, you see whole civilizations gone, forgotten in time. I think the person who orchestrated the building of all the pyramids, the leader at the time, I forget his name. He was, I think, the only remaining statue of him is about 4 inches tall, and there's one of them in the museum in Cairo. And that's it. Orchestrated all the pyramids, forgotten in time, just by a little statue. If you really think about that, no matter how much first person we feel in this world, how much we feel that we are the center of our whole universe, no matter how much you're focusing on celebrity culture, and you might think, okay, Taylor Swift is on Time magazine, most famous at the moment, will be completely forgotten in time, irrelevant, completely irrelevant. How much do you think on a daily basis of Winston Churchill, Michael Jackson, any of these big famous names of the past, Gandhi? You're not thinking of them day to day. You give them a brief moment of time, and not with love. You're not connected with love. You didn't know them. So you just have them for a glimmer in your mind, in this brain, in your head, in the skull. If you ever get your fingers and you rub them around your eyes, you can just feel your skull. You can feel the orbital socket there. And you realize you're a skeleton. Going to die soon. Going to not be here. And that brain is just like a jelly inside that skeleton. It's having a thought about an electrical impulse about one random human for a brief second and then forgotten. Nothing is that big a deal. Nothing. Nothing is that big a deal at all. I'm not talking about existential OCD and fear of death and all of that. I'm talking about getting really awake to life and shortness of life. Right. So we've got that covered now in a bleak and morbid fashion. So, as much as you tell yourself, I haven't got time to work on recovery. I haven't got time. I think I will do it at another point. I've got too much on. I'm too tired. It's too difficult. Oh, reading's too tiring. I don't like reading. It's draining. Think about what you are sacrificing. You are sacrificing the moment, an improved moment that you currently do not have. I'm trying to change tone of voice here to show a bit of urgency to what you're trying to achieve. Not too much urgency though, because then you'll be anxious about missing out and not getting there. Hopefully after I'm gone, these voice notes become a memory, maybe like the likes of Alan Watts's memories through his voice notes. Many of the great people that I look up to and I aspire to, the Albert Ellises, the Alan Watts, passed away. Passed away before I met them, passed away before I could go and hear them. Not trying to liken myself to them, but I'm just pointing out a fact of time and death and imminent passing of these things. I remember when I first was reading Albert Ellis's book, and I thought, shit, is this guy still alive? And I looked, oh, he died 3-4 years ago. It's a shame, just missed him. Time does that, passes. can work as hard as you want, you can do anything, but time is passing. Time is passing all the time. You won't get back today, you won't get back tomorrow, you won't get back the years in the past. Why do I remind you of that? Because of the lost years. You will chase the compulsions addictively because they feel like freedom is awaiting in 1 minute. It's not, it's a lie, it's a trap. Addictions. I was never alcoholic, I was never a drug addict. But like all humans, during my life, we've all experienced in one way or another addictive behaviors in any area of life. What happens when you can no longer have the thing that you want or you're addicted to? Your brain looks for another route. What route does it look for? It looks for a route that's more healthy usually because it can't get that thing. What happens when you're stressed and angry? You resort back to the addictive behavior because your brain looks once again for the nourishing pleasure of serotonin that it got, the dopamine, all of that rush. Looks for it. You want to break addictions? You've got to show to your mind that that is not going to be a path for you anymore. At all. And when you show that to your mind, but you don't give it a crap life, you give it a nourished life of new things, exercise, healthy eating, connection, family, all those great things, suddenly the mind starts to improve and build upon itself new pathways, new healthy pathways. The old ones, grass grows over them, they're not noticed as much. What am I talking about addiction for in relation to urgency and all these things? Because your brain is looking for a path to peace. It's looking for it right now, but you keep feeding it reassurance. You keep feeding it things that are not going to give it that. Maybe you're watching Netflix endlessly. Maybe you're fixated on something that you're never going to have, some reassurance compulsion. And you are missing what the brain could be eating right now, very healthily, happily, and feeling full. What is that? Well, that's the healthy life that you're choosing not to go down. Because you haven't really adopted the healthy life. You've adopted it somewhat, but you haven't really adopted it. Your life structure's still not there. Your life structure's still not accommodating this new life and new way that you want to see the world and things and yourself. You're not there with unconditional self-life and other acceptance. If you were, you wouldn't be posting in the group, just had a triggering, just had a setback, just had a this, that, and the other. You'd be in the group, but you'd be in a different mindset. You'd be slightly shifted from the path that you're on. So, where do we see this path working out for us? We see it by reading. We see it by working on breaking down beliefs. We see it on exercise. We see it on healthy eating. We see it on good connections. We see it on getting up in the morning, going to bed at night at similar times. We see it on thinking about life in a positive way because time is very, very short. You embrace that time. You embrace that short life. You really stare it in the face. You stare it in the face each day, the reality of it. I stare it in the face, maybe a bit differently to other people stare it in the face. I think, wait for a bit bleak here, but I do it like this. I think of a shovel shoveling the dirt onto the coffin where I am. I think of, I'm an organ donor. I think of all my organs in the hospital, the eyes, the nose, everything being chopped up and given to somebody in need of them. I remember the day I signed an organ donor form. I thought, I'd be an organ donor, why not? Why would I want to keep the body? What a rational thing to do. I'm dead. How could I even care about that? And then you go through the box. Do you want to keep your eyes? Do you want to do this? And you tick it all away. And I thought, shit, that's like, what an exposure. I'm just accepting right now that I'm going to not be here. And in those moments when you really think about all that stuff, nothing matters. You realize the amount you want to live life and grasp life right now and go and take life in a way that you haven't before, to seize that moment, not to waste a second, but also not to worry about the wasted. Why? Because it all vanishes into oblivion. When you really start to think about that, all the nonsense crap in your mind that's stopping you from every single thing is banished. What is holding you back? I haven't got enough energy. You've got more energy in your body than you can imagine. I haven't got the attention. You have more attention than you could imagine. If somebody had right now said to you, you've got to pay attention to this to keep everyone alive, you would be doing it. The same as a runner, the triathlete. They can't believe how much more they've got in the tank. You have got to think about the scarcity of your life and the abundance of energy and input that you can put in. You can, no matter your situation, no matter how much chronic guilt and anxiety is pumping through your body right now and your nervous system feels like it's plugged into the plug socket on the highest volts. You can recover. You are not alone. You are not broken. You have people around you that have recovered. You have people around you on the same journey, going through difficult parts, hurdles, setbacks. Other obstacles in life may be much harder than your current situation. Focus on what you're going to do in the next 15 minutes, hour, day. Focus on that. Don't waste a second. Go and live it once.